What is going on, guys? It is Chris here, and with the launch of Elder Scrolls Online only months away, I wanted to look into the make or break part of the MMORPG's PvP system. So all of the top MMOs out there have special events, battlegrounds, or instances for where players can go together and fight against those from the opposing faction or team. When you reach max level on your character, you're going to be mainly doing two things: PvE, dungeons and instances, or PvP, player versus player. So if a gaming company wants to keep a good chunk of their subscriptions, then this part of the game has to be absolutely spectacular and repeatable without getting boring. Although it's probably not as big as it used to be, PvP is still big business and very popular among online gamers such as myself. I have to admit though, in any MMO that I've played, I always try to keep away from others until I've reached a specific level. Otherwise, it's just not worth getting, killed every couple of seconds. Take WoW for example. There was a time when every Joe has his uncle, and he was talking about, that's an Irish saying for what you done over the night. And everywhere you looked, there was a tournament for some sort going on, and there was always viral videos of players filming themselves in the midst of epic battles and onslaughts. You would get the feeling that WoW was pushing PvP on everyone, and it was a big deal. Nowadays, it's still in the background, and people just accept it as a regular part of the game, rather than something that is special and needs promotion. So, what is PvP? First things first, PvP stands for player versus player. For all you experienced players, please bear with me, I'll get into the interesting stuff further on. It expands and enables you to engage and fight with other players while you go on about your quests and missions, and you earn a little bit of extra XP and alliance points in Elder Scrolls Online. The alternative to PvP is PvE, and that stands for player versus environment. PvE is just you or a group of your friends competing against creatures controlled by the computer, so aka NPCs. So, what's the big thing in Elder Scrolls Online when it's PvP? It's alliance warfare. Please note, if you don't want to keep getting attacked, stay away from Cyrodiil as much as possible. Although it'll be unavoidable during some missions which take you there, as in Elder Scrolls Online, this is the main PvP area where anything can happen. As we were only concerned about ESO, let's talk about its PvP and, be like what it's going to be like for us in the MMO. So PvP, or Alliance War as people probably call it, or AW, will happen only in Cyrodiil, which is the center of Nirn, which is the realm, center of Tamriel, and Nirn. So Cyrodiil is where the Ruby Throne is, and whoever takes the Ruby Throne controls Tamriel. Also, if your faction is in control, you get to challenge the mighty Molag Ba and his army. Now, each time you win a battle, or do pretty much anything in Cyrodiil, you earn alliance points. Alliance points go towards your faction. The faction with the most points tends to be the lead in its respect to their reinforcements, guards, siege weaponry available for them to use. At the moment, once a faction is in the lead, it earns fewer alliance points. Then, trailing factions, let's say if the Ebonheart Pack was in the lead, the Aldemir Dominion and Daggerfall Covenant would be earning more than them. Cyrodiil is a huge province. It's worth mentioning that the area is roughly as big as the one in Oblivion for fans who have been following the franchise. So there will be plenty of space in fighting or running. Attacking people at random, or meeting non-player control characters who give plenty of side quests and plenty of dungeons. So, example, if you go into the Cyrodiil, you could be fighting players and then come along a quest where this NPC will say kill 5 players and bring back said loot that they drop. Some reckon it takes around a half an hour to get from A to B, your way from end to end, or from one point to the other in Cyrodiil. There will be other towers, castles sprouted around the area, which can be either protected or attacked, so PvP is a big engagement even in the PvE aspect. Now, the objectives in PvP there are various choke points through the province where similar random battles, or even structured battles where players will, pick out, a guild to fight, break out and develop and encourage your call to your friends on the communication systems, which allow you to either talk to smaller groups, individuals, or to do a shout out to the entire faction to get them involved. The benefits of winning these are huge. Taking certain objectives like keeps, towns, fortresses, etc. boosts your overall score and boosts all individuals in the faction. As all of which is good, I hope to see that they add more to this instead of just towns and keeps, all of which goes towards winning the Alliance War. Well, you know, warning costs gold. Whether it's rebuilding walls or, you know, defenses or repairing your gear, it all costs gold and time. So it's almost certain that some factions will plan their whole strategy around controlling resources and certain areas. To gain gold and resources, you and your alliance need to capture surrounding buildings, such as lumber mills, gold mines, or farms and other familiar commodity sources that you can get your hands on. All of these buildings will produce a certain resource that can be added to the alliance reserve, in order to keep the battle going, of course. Helping to produce a siege weapon and freeing the NPCs, you know, and feeding the guards and helping them protect you and build any kind of reinforcements that's actually able to, you know, be reinforced, if that makes sense. You also get special armor. So special armor, weapons, and other type of items in for your character can be purchased in Cyrodiil, and here alone, nowhere else. Although, you still will be able to use your gear that you've collected in other areas or from quests until you've done enough PvP to gain this specialized gear. The main PvP goal is for you and your alliance to get close enough to the Imperial Throne, as we saw in the Arrival trailer, and here, take the Ruby Throne, basically. Anyone who accomplishes this task will get the chance of becoming the next King or Queen of Tamriel, which in its own right gives a major boost to the single player and to the entire alliance in Cyrodiil. So, to take part in PvP, it's pretty simple. Your character must reach level 10, but after this, finding and taking part in a battle is easy. Just open your map, take a look where the players are, and that's where you go. Battle shows up as a sword on your map. The bigger the swords, the bigger the battle. Now, I don't think the swords will get too big, but you know what I'm trying to say. You can also determine which factions are in the battle and why they're battling and what they're battling over. It's also worth noting that in particular factions start to become too powerful, the other two will become, you know, they'll be able to form an allegiance to attack it. So the Ebonheart Pack and the Aldemir Dominion will be able to team up if the Daggerfall Covenant is too powerful. Although it is not clear how powerful the faction must become or what the others must do to combine forces. Unlike other MMOs, PvP in Elder Scrolls Online is going to be humongous. With up to 300 players in any area in Cyrodiil at any time battling it out with each other, yeah, that's big. This also brings up the subject of the time and scale of the place. There isn't one. Unlike the battlegrounds in World of Warcraft, for example, where PvP matches in Warsong Gulch would last 20 minutes, in ESO there's no time restrictions to typically, it could take weeks or months even for a new king or queen to be crowned on top of the Ruby Throne. At launch there will be no king or queen, it'll just be battling out to get it, and the first king or queen will be awarded with a special title. So combat in the Elder Scrolls Online, as you know, there's magic pools such as health, stamina, etc. And the best fighters who manage these skills the best will become the best, if that makes sense. The better your actions, blocks and attacks, the more ultimate points, XP and finance points you earn. The more of these you have, the more chance you have more of doing powerful attacks. So fighters will have a chance to, you know, have some class about them that is unfamiliar to other people. So you'll have differences in each player. No player will be the same, thanks to the ESO's kind of combat style system. So I'm really looking forward to the PvP in ESO, from battling the other two alliances, taking over towns, villages, resources, buildings, to defending the ones that we already have. From what information we have at the moment, with the 300 player battle being the only one that we have, that sounds insane. Wars lasting up to weeks at a time and possibly even months? That's insane. PvP sounds like it's going to be absolutely epic. What do you guys think about PvP in the Elder Scrolls Online? Do you reckon it'll be a make or break situation, or do you think it'll be just kind of like a side thing you could work on? Let me know in the comments below. I hope you found this video informational and helpful. If you did, please leave a thumbs up, and it helps a lot. Please leave a comment below on what you want to see next on the channel, and subscribe if you haven't. We're an Elder Scrolls Online community channel. We also upload other MMO games, but you'll get to know us a lot better, and we'll get to know you a lot better if you just hit the sub button. Anyway guys, thanks very much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Chris out.